Hello, Shini, can you hear me? Shini, you can hear me? Hello. Okay, so let's start this session. Uh, so today is our demo session for the RPA, the robotic process automation. So when we talk about the automation anywhere tool, this is one of the tool used to automate things that comes under the umbrella of RPA, that is robotic automation. So we will quickly start to discuss in brief that what is actually the RPA and uh, what the terms means and how we automate things under this and all those benefits and the tools that are in the market regarding this RPA technology. So you have been heard of this term, the robotic process automation. This is actually uh, very much in demand right now. So when we talk about this RPA, so RPA is a process to automate the business processes. So any of the process that is, if we talk about a process is a sequence of steps to perform an activity, right? So any process that we can automate using this RPA technology. So this include all the rule-based tasks. So on a basis, whatever uh, task we are performing that is repetitive, that is monotonous in nature, going on a daily basis, and that is specifically based on some rules like you are fetching the data from a website on based on some rules, or you are doing some manipulations on your Excel basic on some rules, or you're getting the data from an Excel and you are feeding it into a website or a portal or an application. So these are just the rule-based tasks where you are not applying any specific logics. You are doing the entry data processes, the ERP processes, the invoicing processes. So all these type of processes which are rule-based and which are repetitive in nature. So we try to automate this process, and this is called as robotic process automation. So when we talk about robotics, it doesn't mean any physical robots. It actually means the softwares that we use, the softwares we build to automate our tasks to ease our life. So this is in brief the concerns of the robotic process automation. Okay, so at any point of time, if you have any questions or queries, please go ahead and ask me. Okay, so when we discuss anything, we have to first discuss about its benefits. Then only we can make a choice that why we are using this technology. So when we talk about benefits, so there is a lot many benefits of RPA, because the first benefit is whatever the repetitive task or the monotonous task or a daily based task which we are in industry, if that can be automated using the technology, then it will be a huge cost saving and it will be a huge relax to the organizations. So that is why the industry is looking towards automation these days, so that uh, the humans are doing the daily task, so that can be done by automation, and those humans can be utilized for some high value task. So this is the major benefit of RPA, so that the repetitive task can be automated and human intervention can be eliminated. Also, when we automate a task, this is obvious that it improves the result. It always improves the accuracy. It free us from the human errors. Also, the mode of the scripts is fast humans. So all these are great benefits of automating a task, the RPA. So when we are doing a daily task, then 24 by 7 the software can run for you. In the case of human, it is not possible, but in the automations, you can schedule them or you can run them anytime in a day, anytime in a night. So 24 by 7, those scripts are ready to perform the task. So always the results are better and the outcome is better. Cost reduction is one of the major tasks. When we replace the human interactions and the suppose the 5 humans are performing a task, and now after automating a task, only 1 or 2 people are managing those tasks just to run the bots or just to maintain those bots. So there will be a huge cost reduction for the industry and efficiency will increase. So due to all these benefits, it is very much in hype and very much in demand these days, uh, and industries are running behind to automate all those tasks. So when we talk about RPA, then there are a lot many tools in the
Right.
market.
Like,
Hello,
don't do that. No, no, no need of entering password also.
hello.
Yeah, you can be, yeah. When you click on that, down password. Yeah, you can download that. Like a sync as well, you can download
Can you please be on mute? Okay. So when we talk about the tools from the tools perspective, then there are a lot many tools in the market. We have Automation Anywhere, we have Blue Prism, UiPath, OpenSpan, WorkFusion, and etc. and etc. So there are a lot many tools, and we are focusing towards the Automation Anywhere. It is one of the biggest tool in the market. And when we go and talk about it interface, then you will be able to understand that why it is capturing the market, because it is very user friendly tool. There are a lot many good features provided in the tool. uh, it is easy to run your bots, it is easy to control your bots, uh, and it gives many features to interact with different applications. So that is why it is one of the good choice in the market to automate things using the automation anywhere. Okay, so let's brief about the SDLC cycle. So SDLC is the software development life cycle, right? So every project or every application has a software development life cycle. So when we talk about RPA, it also has a life cycle uh, involved. So if we talk about any interview or all those things, then that can be a question to you that please explain the RPA life cycle. So you should be in a position to answer those questions. So as with other life cycles, RPA life cycles also runs in a similar way. So we have an assessment stage where we gather the requirements. We have to understand the requirements of a project to get an understanding that okay, this is the manual task which is going on right now, and what I need to automate using my RPA. So those type of requirements you have to gather in that assessment stage. Then there is a cost benefit analysis. All those will be done by the management tasks. So the developers are not usually involved on those things, but there will be the estimations and there will be cost benefits analysis that is presented to the clients. Then you have a design stage. For the design stage, we will say that uh, we will have the design flow. We will explain the as is flow diagram. As diagram means that whatever the whatever the task is going on right now, the manual task, you will be showcasing that, and once you automate that task, that you will be presenting by the to be flow diagram. That after you automate your manual task, what type of flow it will look like. So those type of things uh, will be showcased using these design flows. There will be high level architecture diagram. You will showcase that okay, this is the complete uh, task and I will automate it. So whichever portion is being automated, you will showcase using the architecture. So that would be a designing part, the basically the documentation part of the life cycle. After that, you have a development phase that is the main phase for the developers, where you will actually automate your task, you will actually develop your task. So basically in the development phase, you will whatever the requirements you have gathered, you will start working on them and you will start developing your bot. So in the RPA world, we will say our software as a bot. So we will use the term bot whenever we say. So we will use this term bot. So any task that you are, any script you are automating, we call it as a bot. Then we have a testing stage. So once the software is developed, means the automations are developed, the scripts are ready to automate, then this is important to test it because you have developed it, but there can be many things that may be missed or that may have defects. So testing is a very important thing. The tester of the application will test your flows, your he will run the scripts and see whether the automation is working fine on the application. There are no issues coming up, or there are proper error handlings done, that if there is any error coming up, then your automation is able to handle those errors. So all those will be checked in testing phase. And then the final phase, the deployment phase, when you will push your automation to the real environment, the production environment, so that uh, the tasks will start running in the live environment, and uh, the task that is done by the humans priorly, that can be done by uh, automation script then. And after those, that is a maintenance phase. So there is a phase where you have to maintain your task, you have to maintain your bots, so that if there's some change comes in later on, that can be done in your scripts. There is small requirements comes in, you can make the changes in your scripts and do that. So those type of phase is called maintenance phase. Okay, so this is in brief the RPA life cycle. Okay, so any questions or anything you can ask. Okay, so let's move on to the automation anywhere part. The tool, specifically the tool, that what are the components or what is the architecture of automation anywhere, so that we can learn and we can proceed that how we actually automate the task using the tool automation anywhere. So automation anywhere has two parts, or we can say the architecture has two parts. One is the control room and other is the client. So control room is basically the server, or we can say the web-based application. So you can access that control room using the URL on the website. So it is used for the user management. You can create the users using that server. The code can be managed on that. The license can be managing on that. That you have created one user and now you want to give it a developer license or a tester license, or you don't want to give any license. And there will be a dashboard. You can see what all users are active, what all tasks are created. So all those things, the managing part actually, where we can manage the bots or where we can manage the users. So that is done on control room. So it is basically a server type application. So everything is maintained on control room. And then we talk about the client. So client is a desktop application which is installed in your system, and once it will be installed in the system, so it you can create the task or automate the task on the client machine actually. Okay, let me just showcase you. So this is the room that we are talking about. So we have accessed it through an app server URL, and this is the view of the control room. So as we have discussed, there will be a dashboard. This is a dashboard view where we can see that whatever clients we have, whatever users we have, what is the repository we have, what tasks are created, in which folder the task is created. All those things can be done. We have a user management where we see that what users we have created, what is the name, what is the email address, what type of roles are provided to those users, what type of license are there. So we have two types of license. One is the development license and the other is a runtime license. Uh, Anyhow, discuss all those things in details in our classes. But on a brief view, I'm just letting you know that these are the two types of license for our task bots. We have development license. So development license is given to a user who actually develop the task, and a runtime license is provided to a user who actually only use your script and just run the task. So that is actually a tester role. So when we see the view for both the licenses, we will understand that what are the differences that comes in. So for the development part, there will be functionalities provided for to you to create the task or edit the task. But for the runner license, you will not get those functionalities. You will only have the run button, so you can only uh, select the task. You cannot edit it, or you cannot see the code behind that, or you cannot create a code when you have this type of license. You can only have the task and you can only run the, because this is basically for the testing purpose. Okay. Then we have task schedules, audit trails. So all those things that we will discuss later on. Audit trails, that whatever user has created or whatever users are logged in, all those information will be automatically feeded here. And for the management purpose, we can provide them the details whenever being asked that what are the activities being done. So all those details will be captured here. So this is basically for the management purposes, the control purposes. So due to the all these good features, is in high demand in the market, because it gives it it makes us easy to understand things. From the management perspective, they need all those details, that what is the security for the tool and all those. So these type of details are um, very good things in the automation anywhere, and that's why the industry prefers this. Okay, so let me show you the client view also. That So this is the desktop application which I am talking about, that will be on system, and we will develop the task here. And that on the URL have shown you the control room. So there are two parts of the automation anywhere, client and control room. So let me showcase you the client also. So this is client one with, let me show you. On control room, I have users. So you can see there is one user, client one, and we have a development license for that, right? So let's see that how it looks. So when into the client machine, so what happens in the backend is it first makes a connection with the control room. So it first makes the connection with control room. So and because every detail of this user is feeded in the control room, right? So it makes a connection with control room. So whatever license it is being provided, or is it a valid user or not, that is checked at that time only. So it is a valid user with the development license. So that is why it is logged in as a uh, user, and a user with a development license. So you can see that for a development license, as I've shown you, told you that you can create the task, you can edit the task, you can run the task, and all those things, because this is a development license. So everything is provided to you, because the developer needs everything to create the task and to edit any of its tasks which is already being created. So this is actually the view of the uh, client, the developer view. So this is our main view where we have to work, and where we have to learn the functionalities. So let me just brief you. So this is the view where the code will be written. The code means the logic that can be written, because in RPA tools we are not using any specific coding languages. We are actually building the logics using the internal functionalities of the tool. One of the biggest advantages of these tools that we don't need to be an expert in any of the particular languages like Java, .NET, scripts, JavaScripts, and all those. We have to be in mastery on the functionalities of the tool, so that we can be we can be aware of that how we can automate our task, what type of functionalities we can use to automate our task. So for any of the complex tasks, we would be able to understand that okay, these functionalities I have in my tool and I can use them so that I can automate that task. So we have very good functionalities provided in the tool. Like, let me give you an example. Like, you want to launch an online application and you want to work on that. So this is how we can do that. We can use the functionality of launch website. We don't need to specifically write a code, or we don't need to specifically use any API to connect with the websites first and all those things. So that makes the task easy for us. These tools, we can internally use the functionalities of the tool, and that makes the job done for us. Like, suppose I use this. Okay, I have used the internal functionality of launching a website. Now I'm doing giving a URL to my application. So whatever application you want to work on, we have to just give the URL to that, and rest of the things will be taken care by the automation anywhere only. So let me just launch it. So it has open the application. So if I okay, so if I save it, so this is how the your logic and the code looks like. This is how the line one by one it code for you, and you will be able to understand what you have coded. Okay, so this is how your code looks like. Whenever you whatever functionalities you start using, it will come one by one, one, two, three serial wise to your code. So like the code where we are launching a website with the URL of www.google.com, and then we are maximizing our window. And then let me just to have an understanding. Then I'm minimizing my window. So this is a three-line code which we have done. So let's just save it. So you can choose the directory where you want to save your task. There are lot many folders, or you can create the folder of your own also. So let me just save it for now in my task folder with the name of demo and save it. Okay, now let me just close this browser. And now just so this is a task which we have written, and what we have written in this task is that we have to launch a website, we have to maximize the window, and then we have to minimize the window. So I have written this three code of line, and now I have saved it, and now I can run it. From this run button, if I run this, it will do the task one by one, line by line, right? So it has done the task for us. If you can see, uh, it has opened the google.com, it has maximized the window, and then it has minimized the window for us. So this is a small example that how the tool works for us and how the output looks like. That when you start using the functionalities, how this line by line code will be looks like. So is, that's what I have shown you, that it's very much user friendly tool, and that is the reason that how why it is in the market and why uh, the industries are running behind RPAs, because there are a lot many internal functionalities that can be used, and using those functionalities we can just run the task for us. Okay, so this is the developers view which I have shown you, where different functionalities and all those functionalities we can utilize. So in our classes we will learn that how we can use different functionality, what are the different functionalities provided and how we can utilize them. So this is developer client. Let me just showcase you very quickly the client 2 also, which is actually runtime. So let me showcase you how the runtime or the tester view looks like. So let me just re-log in, and now I'm using client 2, the user 2. See, when I use the user 2, it is the functionalities of create, recording, edit, all those functionalities have been called, because the tester doesn't need all those functionalities. He don't need to use the to create the code. He doesn't need to edit any code. He just need to run the task and see whether it is working fine or not, or what are the issues reported. So I can select the task like demo is the task which we have created using our developer. And now let's see what is the code written behind this. I just knew that okay, this task will be used to open a website, maximize and minimize. But I cannot see the code. I cannot make any changes to that. Okay, I can select the this task and I can just run it to see whether the task is running fine or not as per the requirements. So it has done the job for us. It is opened it, it has maximized it, and then it has minimized it. So this is the different license and the different views or as per the licenses. So we have developer license and we have the runner license. So runner license is for testing purpose and developer license is for development purpose. And everything is done on the client machine, that is this one only, and everything is maintained on the control room. So if I create another user, I can create it here and I can give the role to it as per my requirement or as per the license we have. So this is basically in brief about the automation anywhere, that how the RPA looks like, RPA works, what are the benefits, and what are actually the uh, useful things on the RPA side. Then uh, we have seen the architecture of it, that okay, it has two components, one is control room and the other is client, and how the task can be automated, what types of functionalities we have. So all those things we will be learning in details in the classes, but for the brief view, uh, this is how we uh, see the task in automation. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me. Okay, guys, so this is all about the session for today for the demo class. So hope to see you in the classes so that you can be able to understand the tool perfectly, and then you can automate your tasks in your company and industries. So this is a brief about this tool. There are a lot many functionalities that needs to be learned before you use those tools. But for the demo purposes, we have uh, understood that how it looks like and how we can use it and how we see the tool and its uses and how the UI of the tool looks like. So we can wrap up the task for today, class for today, and we will meet up in other classes. Uh, and if you have any queries or concerns, you can ask anytime. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's end the session for today. Thank you. Bye bye.